What is up, Sideline Gang? It's your boy Thought. You can call me T. Welcome to another episode of Sidelines Basketball Podcast. Today, we're gonna have a nice old podcast about just the conference finals. I mean, the Western Conference Finals and the Eastern Conference Finals. But first of all, let me remind you: do not forget to first of all, if you're watching YouTube, subscribe and like the video. It would be very appreciated. If you are on whatever you are on for audio version, download it and go to YouTube and subscribe and like this. And if you're on YouTube, go to go download the audio version. That's it. That's about it. It will be very much appreciated. But either way, thank you so much, and let's get straight into it. First of all, let's talk about the Western Conference Finals. Is the series actually done? So the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Denver Nuggets. The series is officially over. LeBron cannot do it in the West, so he did. He did. He didn't do it in the West. His first time around, he didn't even make the playoffs. But let's forget about that one. Let's talk about right now. He's made it. He's made the NBA Finals. He has beaten the Denver Nuggets 4-1. It's just not him, but it's mostly him. But it's a team. The Lakers have beaten the Nuggets 4-1. And let's just talk about this. First of all, congratulations to the Lakers and Lakers fans. A 4-1 win against the Denver Nuggets. Not the easiest thing to do. They were up 3-1. I thought it was over. I thought the Nuggets were going to come back for sure. But seriously, we all know the Lakers got it. I said the Lakers probably win in 5. They did. It's a pretty simple thing. It's just the matchups never worked. Denver are a great team. They have... They're a great team. They always kept it close. Every single game was a close game. It was never just like a full-on blowout. It was never that. It was always just great basketball, pretty competitive, but they just never went over the hump. Like they won game 2, but then game 3 they could have won it. No, what am I talking about? Game 2 they could have won it, but AD got the game winner. Kind of a bummer. They could have been titled on 1, and then maybe they could make it 2-1. Maybe they come back and make it 2-2. Would have been a much funner series. But it's so. First of all, we gotta also congratulate the Denver Nuggets. What a great run. They made it to the Western Conference Finals. People were saying they were gonna get eliminated in the first round against the Utah Jazz. They came back and beat them, and then down 3-1 to the Clippers. Nobody ever thought they're gonna ever beat the Clippers. And now they came back from a 3-1 lead, from a 3-1 deficit. It's just amazing. And they ended up winning against the Clippers. A great team. The Clippers, Kawhi, Paul George, all that. And they came back. And now they're going up against the Lakers, which is just still a good series. And they made a good series. It's still a 4-1. They lost 4-1. It's a 5-game series. But it's still a fun one. It wasn't one of those, every single game is a blowout. It wasn't a Raptors versus Nets kind of series, where it's just straight up blowouts every single game. It was actually a close series, actually pretty fun to watch. Congrats to Jamal Murray, playing amazingly. He is one of the hottest people, in the bubble. No homo, but whatever. That's what LeBron said. That wasn't me saying it. Jokic was great. He did his best. But as we all knew, Jokic had a lot of problems with just being in foul trouble. I think it was game 1, maybe. I'm not sure, but he had a lot. He was in some pretty bad foul trouble, and then now he's. Not now. Game 5 he was in some foul trouble. It just kept weighing him down. When you have to defend either AD or another big guy, and they keep coming at you. They try to just hit you in a pick and roll, so they get you fouling. Yeah, and that's just never good. And he ends up just not fouling out. Just being in foul trouble for pretty much the whole game, which just limits how much he can do on defense, and just limits his minutes too, which just makes it harder for the Nuggets to win. On the Lakers side, Dwight Howard gave some great minutes. It was first great minutes off the bench, but then it turned into great minutes just starting because he just took JaVale's spot. JaVale's probably out there crying right now. Rondo, playoff Rondo out here showing up, doing pretty well. I mean, congrats to playoff Rondo, doing his best. Kuzma is kind of solid, yeah. Kuzma's funny. Kuzma's a funny guy. He straight up thinks he's like the third best player on the Lakers. He's out. He goes out there. He thinks he's the best. He thinks it's a matchup between him and some people. I don't know. He's probably gonna go out there and play against the Heat or Celtics and think he's gonna have the matchup. He's gonna be the third guy. Yeah, he's kind of crazy. But it's just yeah, we appreciate the confidence. Just make sure you back it up. That's about it. But yeah, he's been decent, I guess. Not bad, not good either. Just decent. I mean, AD is AD. He has been doing amazingly. He needs to be way more aggressive on the rebounds. He has not been getting rebounds at all. Not to the level you expect a fucking guy who's 6'11" or 7 foot. Who's a big guy to be getting. He got like 2 rebounds one game, and they were both like garbage minutes rebounds. So basically, he just had no rebounds, which is kind of just disappointing for a guy that big and a guy that athletic. I would never want that to be my big getting that much fucking rebounds. It was like one game like they literally had like 5 rebounds for the whole centers. AD, Dwight, and JaVale all had 5 rebounds, which is kind of embarrassing. Either way, look, AD was pretty good, but then LeBron, he's straight up phenomenal. The first 4 games, he was LeBron. He was doing pretty well. He was like scoring 28 points, having like 10 rebounds, 7 assists. He was decent. Yeah, he was decent. I mean, no, I mean decent to LeBron is like good for the whole like league. But it's LeBron, so we just hold him up to a higher standard. The man was like getting 27 points, at 10 rebounds, 7 assists, but we thought it was like meh. But then he came out this game and dropped like 30 something. Like he's a 30-point triple double with 13 rebounds. I mean, the man is he's a freak train. He's a freak train. I mean, he's just a great player. He's an amazing player. He is sort of GOAT status. He's a GOAT. In my opinion, he is not, but he is a very good player who's up there to maybe contesting to be the GOAT. He's just a great player, and he has pushed the Lakers to be in the NBA Finals. And he's proven a lot of people wrong who thought he would lose to the Nuggets, people who thought he was going to lose to the Clippers, who weren't even here in the Western Conference Finals, which is embarrassing to even say. But still, congrats to the Lakers, played amazing. And let's see what they're going to do in the finals. But now, moving on into the Celtics versus the Heat. So, the series right now is looking at a 3-2 lead for the Heat. First of all, Tyler Hero, the G, my man, the boss. My man had dropped 37, was it? 36? I don't know. A career high for him in the playoffs against the Celtics. The man is straight of fire. The man does not know any boundaries, doesn't know. He just doesn't know anything. He just knows he's a great player, and he's going to prove it. He's going to go out there, shoot his shots whenever he needs to, whenever he wants to, and he's just that good of a player. I love watching Tyler Hero play. Watching him back, I initially watched him back in college and how great he was. The man is a living bucket, and he is very confident. The confidence he has can make every single player in the league better. Like if any player in the league had his confidence, they would be much better. Like he is a great player who is very confident too, which just makes him even better. But either way, let's talk about the teams and the games too. So one game, Bam saves the Heat with an amazing block, and they win in the game. Next game, the Heat got a pretty easy win, and they made 3-1. And now, well, I mean, let's be real, it wasn't a pretty easy win. It was a good win. I mean, the zone defense is working very well against the Celtics. Well, I mean, let me correct that. Was working very well against the Celtics. I mean, was limiting them. It was surprising to the Celtics players. They just couldn't get into a groove because of it. But then, what happened this game? Game 5, is that the Celtics, their adaptation. I mean, they started running some better plays. Tyus was a pretty good player, and his scanner was pretty good. They started profiting. I mean, The zone creates a pretty good spot. I mean, in the high post for people to use, and guess what they started doing? Using that spot, which just made the zone not very effective. I mean, the Heat ran the zone 9 times the whole series. I mean, 9 times the whole game, which is the other games that I run like 20 times a game, which is yeah, a pretty huge drop off. I mean, that's a lot of less possessions, going from like at least 20 to 9 possessions in a zone is a drop off, a big one too. So proving like Brad Stevens is a great coach. Like we are literally watching a battle of the coaches, a battle of the minds. The Heat make an adjustment, just limit the Celtics, and boom, who comes in next? Brad Stevens gets a great. I mean, he just makes a great decision for the Celtics to just come back at them and just. I mean, just not let them finish, let them limit them. I mean, he's just a great coach. He's run a lot of plays who are just very good against his zone, and also in man-to-man defense, they just ran some great plays, like the play they did for an scanner to be inside against a mismatch, because the Heat don't care about switching. They just always switch Bam into smaller guys. Don't care. Bam can hold his own against smaller guys. He's a pretty good perimeter defender. But the issue is, you switch some small guy in a scanner, he's pretty good. And a scanner is a good post scorer. He's a big guy, like 6'11", so he might as well, he has to be basically. He's just a very good offensive rebounder and also just a scorer inside. So giving the ball inside against a smaller guy, doesn't matter like really how small. It's just 6'8" and smaller. He probably just feasts on them, and he showed that. He had a pretty good showing. Had a great night compared to just any other night the whole playoffs. The centers in general for the Celtics played pretty well. Tice was pretty good, and also Cannon was pretty good. But either way, a great showing for the Celtics. The Heat though, before this game 5, were pretty great. I mean, winning on comebacks. I didn't, like I said before, not my favorite thing. Just win on comebacks. It makes you kind of just vulnerable. Because what if you don't come back, then you're taking the L, and you don't want to take the L because this is the playoffs. So yeah, I didn't like the comebacks at first, but then yeah, they came out game 4 and they didn't try to get the comeback. Just shut up off the bat and started winning, which is better. Let's talk about the Heat in the last game. Dragic got limited more. Because of the adjustments made by the Celtics. Also, another guy, Butler, he's kind of not showing the guy that we saw against the Bucks, dropping 44 points in the same game in a single game. He's kind of just slowing down. He's not taking control of the game. Like in games like this, where just Jason Tatum dropped like 20 something points in the second half, he's not doing he's not being as dominant or as forceful and showing why he is the best player in the series like the others are, which in my opinion he should, because he's just, for me, he is maybe the best player in the series. I mean, I think he's better than Tatum. Tatum's still a young guy, so he can show he is better than Tatum, and I would love for him to show that he is better than Tatum and just go out there and ball and take control of the game. I mean, the Heat are all about team basketball. We're all gonna play around each other, not force anything, because we are a team. We're not one guy. We're not me. It's not me. It's not Tyler Hero's team. It's not Joragic's team. It's not Bam's team. It's not Butler's team. It's just the Heat. And that's a great mentality. But sometimes you gotta be the guy. And for me, Butler should sometimes just take the game in his hands and say, hey, give me the ball. I'm the guy right now. I'll show you guys how to do it. He is the veteran at the end of the day, and he should show that. I mean, also talking about other guys, Jay Crowder, shooting 26% from 3 this series. I mean, they're letting him shoot it, and he is not making them. I mean, he used to be a good shooter, and he should be a good shooter, but he is just not doing it this series. He is missing a lot of threes. The Heat in general is missing and are not being very good from 3 this series. They have not been pretty good from 3 this series, which is very surprising to see that they're up by 3-2. Which is still not a lot. They were up 3-1, so the chances of the Celtics coming back are pretty low. but I bet the Celtics are probably gonna finish it. The Celtics have it. I mean, not Celtics. I mean the Heat. I said first, maybe the Heat are gonna finish it. The Celtics probably have a chance to come back. And now it's looking kind of weird. I don't know. I'm not even sure what can happen. It just depends on the changes Spoelstra would do. Because if Spoelstra comes out and just doesn't change much, which is I doubt, Celtics might win again. Or maybe if Butler doesn't take control of the game, the Celtics might win again. Maybe if Tatum doesn't have such a good game, then probably the Heat would win. And maybe if Kemba doesn't play such a good game, then maybe the Heat will win. Maybe if Tyus and Kander don't play as good as they did this game, and they let Bam dominate, and he stops them every single time, then maybe again they will not do as good. So yeah, I believe at the end of the day, they have a lot to like. Both of the teams have some adjustments to do, and they can probably go out there. Both of them can go out there and win game. Which game is it? Game 6 today. I mean tonight. Yeah, Game 6 is gonna be tonight, and it's gonna be a great game to watch. I'm probably gonna come back like whenever this series is gonna be done. Whenever the Eastern Conference Finals is gonna be done, I'm gonna probably do an early podcast because just talking about it and I'm talking about prediction for the finals, because why not? That'll be fun. I'm probably gonna do it this podcast. But either way, let's keep talking about this. I mean, the Celtics, Gordon Hayward, he is just giving them diversity. He hasn't been like that good, but he's giving them diversity. Like someone else you have to worry about. Someone else who can make a shot. Someone else who can just create his own shot. I mean, and that's decent. That's very good for any team. He's a good playmaker. He can make his own shots. I mean, he's just a good player to have. Like you would, what team wouldn't want to have a Gordon Hayward on their squad? I mean, the guy is pretty good. His salary is kind of demotivating, but it's not going to be much more until his contract is done, and then he can get paid some normal money. And he'll be very useful, very, very useful. But either way, the Heat vs Celtics are looking like a very exciting series. We're gonna be seeing 100% some fixes by Spoelstra, because they need to fix some stuff. The zone defense probably be fixed if it's gonna be working. Jay Crowder should start hitting his threes. Tyler Hero maybe get better on threes. I mean, you can't expect Tyler Hero to have a 30 plus game, a 30-point plus game every single time. It's not gonna happen. Probably not gonna happen again in these playoffs. Not probably. Will not happen again in these playoffs. Except if he just blows up again, because I love this man, but he's still a rookie. The guy can be as confident as he wants. Spoelstra will not be allowing him to shoot as much as he did that game. But he's a great player, and he can go out there again and do pretty well again. So they should work on the threes. Duncan has not been too good from three. Duncan should probably step it up. Jay Crowder, please start hitting your threes, and also they should work on the defense. They're probably gonna start working on the matchups and switching and the pick and rolls, because the Boston Celtics pick and roll has been working pretty well with Bam being the defender. Because like with Tyus, they don't want to switch. I mean, with a small defender, with a small point guard in the pick, they don't want to switch because Tyus or Cannon on a small guy is not pretty good for them. So they drop off and they give free threes. And when they're playing against, like when Bam is on and it's not that small of a guy, they're cool with switching, like if it's Jimmy or Jay Crowder, and they switch it, and this Cannon gets an easy post up and a pretty easy mismatch, which just makes it not good either. So I expect a lot of fixes and adjustments from Eric Spoelstra. It's going to be a great game to watch Game 6. Maybe a good game to watch Game 7. Who knows? Can probably happen. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. It was great for me to just film and record. If you have any feedback for me, it would be great. Any feedback at all, like negative feedback, positive feedback, anything, just saying what I should fix, what I should keep, the win. I mean, anything you want me to change or to keep. It would be a great thing for me to tell. It would be a great thing for me to tell you, for you to tell me, so I can make this podcast a better experience for you guys, and also just upgrade myself. I want to be the best podcast, well, the best basketball podcast in the world, because we're working on it, and I want it to happen. So let's make it happen. It will only happen thanks to you guys. If you give me some amazing feedback, that will work on. So I hope you guys enjoyed the fuck out of this episode. Drop a like if you're on YouTube. Download the audio version, and it will be very appreciated. Also subscribe. And yeah, I hope you all have an amazing night, a great day, a spectacular afternoon, whatever it is for you. And either way, please have a great day. Peace out.